You're so fine, oh lady. Let your body take control. You're on my mind, baby. Just move a little closer. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine through the night. Hot and sweet through the night. Let's get out, fast and slow. I wanna get to know you. I know a place where we can go. It's just around the corner. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh.
Happy Monday. I'm here. It's Monday on the Morning Night Live, and I am, I wouldn't say discombobulated. I would just say I've been here. I got here home early today, and I had so much shit I had to do that I'm, running late. But I was watching just some of the media over the weekend, and it seems as though a certain political party is starting to figure it out. Well, actually, both are starting to figure out a little bit. One, that things are not looking good for one, and the other, it always seems like they're trying to figure out ways they can snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory, but we'll see how it goes. And but there seems to be a couple issues that they certainly have favor on. So we'll kind of get into that and figure this out. Oh, I got to get rid of these fireworks behind me. Anyway, happy Monday. It's the Morning Night Live, another week. And here we go. Johnny, play the intro. Johnny, wake up.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight.
And stop that music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where we talk about stuff and so on and so forth. So, there's all kinds of news that we could have gotten into. The two guys that got caught pretending to be federal agents or whatever and have connection with the Secret Service. Echo still. Oh, echo on the intro. I forgot to turn that off. Anyway, the echo's gone now, I'm assuming. There's all kinds of news all kinds of news. And I like, what am I going to focus on today? Oh, I didn't tweet out the show today either. Well, we'll do that while I'm talking. Or actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if anyone else did. Let's see. Maddie did. Thank you, Maddie. I'll retweet you. And I'll retweet Somnambule Nation. Thank you for tweeting out the show. Anyway, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Obviously, the Ukraine stuff's going on, and there's, just all kinds of stuff. But as I watched, like I said, as I watched the media this weekend, there's a lot of signs that there's some shifting going on. One was there's a lot of people in the Trump sphere, okay, that there's a lot of people in the Trump sphere that are becoming skeptical of Trump, which I've always been skeptical of Trump. And part of it is because some of the endorsements he's doing. Now, this is not even part of the show today, but this is just how I'm more pointing out how some things are shifting. For example, there's a lot of people really upset that he endorsed Dr. Oz, for example, for Pennsylvania Senate, when there's clearly better, more Republican in actual name candidates. And so that's one of the areas. And then just, there's also the rise of a certain kind of rock star status that Ron DeSantis is getting among the right, which makes you think, there maybe Trump will just decide, that he's just too old to run again, even though he certainly has the gravitas amongst a large part of the party. And also watching interviews of people on the street, just some random interviews, where he has, when it comes to between him and Raheem, that would be Joseph Raheem Biden, going back to that election that is complete and done and perfectly executed, of course, YouTube, and how they say, we might have voted a different way had we known how this is how it's going to be. So it's interesting, but there's shifts in momentum. There's and people are starting to notice. And and some are panicking, I would say. So that's we'll get a little bit about that today, and then if I can get to some of the other stuff, I have multiple tabs open today. I may not get to them all, but that's all right. If I don't, I don't. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do today. Let's say good morning to the troops, everyone in the chat, and people lurking. Welcome to the show. But there's only one first, and only one gets the bell for being first, and that would be Avocados Diabli gets the bell. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the show again. And also, good morning also to Tyre Alexander, Somnambule Nation, Mike Savage, Blarg, Rotten Corpses in the house, Don Julio, Gulf City Biker and Trash Man, Simic Magic, good morning. Also, good morning to Maddie's in the house, and Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Good morning, James PFP. My favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the house. Welcome, sir. Also, good morning, Chicago Mike, ZZA, Aaron Meredith. And I saw a name that I haven't seen a whole lot of. Oh, Jedi Ghost Bears in the house. Also, Blackkeeper is your light.
That's right.
Also, good morning to Melissa Dobbins. Nice to see you back. And so there we go. That's the list so far. And I will, I'm glad that you all are here. I am here. This is good. And I do have my original Morning Night Live cup of reverberations ready to go. And boy, did I need that. Oh, GDSOB, Lord Stanhope, I see you now. Oh, I didn't scroll down far enough. There's more people. Zach of the Future's here. How did that happen? What did I just do? There's a whole bunch more of you here. Okay, I think, well, at least you two. And Septus Wolf, what up? All right, so let's, did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. That's close. DI Freighter Watcher, I said already? No, did I? Well, okay. If I didn't, you know I love you, my friend. All right. Oh, and Paul Farrell, what's happening? All right, let's Well, let's just get into it. First, just the news of the day, which obviously we always have to talk about Ukraine. The latest updates. Apparently, Ukraine says this is, of course, I use Twitter, but everything on Twitter I will take with a grain of salt because, it's a propaganda war as much as it is a war. But anyway, Ukraine says tens of thousands have died in Mariupol as fighting continue. During an address on Monday, President Zelensky said that Mariupol has been destroyed. There are tens of thousands dead, but even despite this, the Russians are not stopping their offensive. Ukrainian forces have said that Monday will be the last battle for city as they anticipate running out of ammunition. Meanwhile, Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer will become the first EU leader to meet Vladimir Putin in person since the war began and has said he will convey a clear stance on Russia's war of aggression on Ukraine as the international community prepare more sanctions on Russian exports and continue to investigate allegations of war crimes during the invasion. So I'll just leave this thread. There's all these outlets are talking about it, and there's plenty of links in these to click. Russian general support. Russia points in general with the cruel history to oversee Ukrainian offensive. That's according to NBC. Ukrainian troops in besieged city of Mariupol warn they may be facing their last battle against Russia. In absence of moral direction from seniors, Russian soldiers made ethical decisions. They had agencies. Some were shocked and then tried to help shield locals from the worst of it. Too many of them chose evil. This is somebody who's writing for The Economist. So there's plenty of links if you want to get caught up on that. It's funny. I watch people talk about this on social media. And there was something about someone it was what's that dumbass from Bill Crystal, okay? Bill Crystal tweeted something to the effect of I am paraphrasing because the exact tweet I don't know, but he said Ronald Reagan, quote, "Tear down this wall," end quote. Today, Republicans, quote, "Tear down this president," end quote. And I was like, really? Are you saying that we're not allowed to criticize the president? I was thinking about that at least. And then one of the replies to it was someone saying, well, you need to be during a time of war, we've got to make sure that we support our country and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, there's so many people who act like we're in this war. Like we're part of it. It's like, do you hear anyone talking about Yemen? Do you hear, there's other conflicts around the world, but they act like this one is our war. And the only reason that they're doing this hour, because we've spent the last 6 years talking about Russia. And so many of these people are so anti-Russian because there's so much, the xenophobic talk about Russia over the last 6 years. And again, I even hate to have to say this. F Putin and what he's doing. But the idea that this is our war is nonsense. Until someone makes the stupid decision to send our people into it, it's not our war. We can say we like one side better than the other. Whatever. I don't care. It's like, what? It's not our war. Let's just keep it at that. So anyway, apparently, Zelensky had an exclusive interview with Al Jazeera about the next phase of the war and says the assault on Kyiv might still happen if Russian forces succeed in Donbas. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. If you want updates, though, I'll leave that link in the description. There's a whole multiple links of different things. It's all mainstream media because there is no alternative media on this in really even at Fox News, there's no alternative media that says, well, is this right? Is this right? Is this real? Is this that real? I don't know. Russia says it destroyed Ukrainian air defense systems gifted by unidentified European country. So anyway, other things that are current. What goes to national? Let's see. John Oliver's trending. I'll tell you why John Oliver's trending. This is interesting. Where's that archive one? John Oliver, the guy who does whatever fake. I don't know. Is this supposed to be a late night show or is it a fake late night? I guess it's real. The host of Late Last Week Tonight. Apparently, he is blackmailing Congress with their own digital data. This is an interesting story at Rolling Stone. The video is no longer available. But anyway, John Oliver began a show last night by discussing the vile Russian propaganda the country's state. Wait a minute. What? The vile Russian propaganda the country's state-run television networks have been spewing since the invasion of Ukraine, then transitioned to a totally different topic, vile American propaganda. Specifically, the ooze aired on One American News. Oh, this is a guy who doesn't like One American News. Kai Henderson, he wrote this. So this is why. Anyway, he bitched about One American News and then laughed because they got kicked off of DirecTV, and DirecTV suing them, whatever. But the main segment concerned data brokers, okay? The companies that collect your digital data, package it, and sell it to anyone who's interested, sometimes in bundles based on shared characteristics. Real names of these bundles include ambitious singles, couples with clout, and kids and Cabernet. Oliver pointed out that the names also sound like immediately greenlit shows on TLC. Anyway, the thing is, brokers group people in far less fanciful ways, according to their medical ailments, for instance, or as suffering seniors or help needed. I am 90 beyond with bills, or 90 days beyond with bills. Last year, Epsilon, one of these ghoulish companies, was forced to pay $150 million in penalties because they knowingly sold data of 30 million people to scammers targeting seniors. Now, none of this is particularly new. Several of the news clips Oliver showed were 8 to 10 years old. An unsettling example of a stalker finding and killing a woman after paying her broker $45 for her data was 20 years old. So why was Oliver devoting a whole show to it now? Well, in a word, blackmail. He and his staff paid for the data of a subset of individuals with traits that a lot of congressmen have and who were online within 5 miles of the Capitol building. Though Oliver was cagey about what they found, he indicated they were able to identify several specific lawmakers and their potentially problematic search histories, but he didn't reveal any more than that. Instead, he indicated that his preferred solution was for lawmakers to pass laws making the release of that kind of personal info illegal. In the meantime, Oliver's had some advice for anyone on Capitol Hill worried about what he might do with their personal data. He said, you might want to channel that worry into making sure that I can't do anything advised. Sleep well. So that's an interesting way to try to get... That's an interesting way to try to get someone to pass a law, is to threaten that with passing out their digital data. Interesting, to say the least. So that's why he's trending. Let's see. What's going on up here? I'd say fuck Putin, fuck Zelensky. Both of them put their citizens' lives in jeopardy. I'll give you a dig for that, selected boy. Let's see. Oh, and Q Continuum. That's a new person that, well, I don't know if you're new. I've seen that name before. I don't know if I saw it here in another stream. But anyway, you're here till the mods drop the Van Hammer. Don't forget to... Why would my mods drop the Van Hammer on you? I'm not sure. Let's see. Are you trying to get Arkansas? Okay, I don't know. No, I'm not. All right. The Van Hammer, great ride. Okay, cool. Wait, what photo's making you tilt your head? Avocados Diablo. Wait, this one? Wait. Okay, wait. What happened? What photo? Now I'm confused. I'm going to go back to this article. Or am I just... Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I thought you were talking about the Rolling Stone article, Avocados Diablo. All right, also, let's see. Oh, this was funny. I'll show you one more, and then we'll move on into the main topic today. I think if you watched Randy Monkey this morning, you saw this. If you didn't, well, this is a fascinating little clip from a scene in New Orleans where apparently some people who steal shit out of cars got a surprise, and here it is. I'm just going to show you, and you can watch it. So, and I'll narrate as we go along. Here's the scene in New Orleans. Apparently, you can read that in the bottom. No, it's because I don't have that on the screen. How does that not fit? Oh, this isn't. That's because I don't have this set up right. Hold on, let me fix this so you can see the whole damn thing. There we go. Here we go. Here is this man rigs a flashbang to deter car break-in. So these guys roll up in the car. This guy's going to try to steal some shit out of this nice Silverado lifted truck. And as he jumps in to steal whatever he's going to steal, a flashbang goes off. And here it is in slow motion, just so you can see it again. Oh, this isn't slow motion. Oh, maybe they showed it a third time. Anyway, you can see it again. Here he jumps in and he's going to steal some shit. And So, rest in peace to that gentleman's ears. Interesting, too. They drove up in a car where the license plate was completely visible. So, anyway, that was fascinating. Actually, there's another one. Apparently, there's another one here. These are from Donut. If you're familiar with Donut Operator on YouTube, there's also one from a Walmart here where this woman decides that she has pulled a knife on somebody. And I don't know why I'm showing these. I just think they're funny. So this woman is yelling at somebody. She has a knife in this hand. If you can see that little dark thing right there. Is my cursor even showing? I don't think it is. Anyway, she's got a knife in her hand. And apparently the police officer is telling her to drop the knife, and here's the scene.
Drop the knife now.
Yep. Oh! She down. She down. Apparently they told her more than once. He didn't just pull out his taser and do that. But anyway. Good night, lady. Don't throw pulled knives on people in Walmart. So, all right, that's the moral of that story. Let's get into the topic. Oh, I don't want that. I want this to shut off. There we go. Let's get into the topic of the day, because this weekend, apparently the press and Democrats, which is redundant, is thinking that the current culture war, so to speak, might be a loser for Democrats. And so they're panicking a little bit. On Meet the Press this weekend that was the theme. And Meet the Press panel warned Sunday the Democrats' current messaging on the culture wars will cause a real problem for the party in the midterm elections. Oh, you think parents vote? Well. Oh, good morning, Cool Frog. What's up? The host discussed a range of social policy issues that the Democrats have. Now, here's the funny thing. This is the way they put this. And Annalyn, good morning. They say a range of social policy issues they said Democrats have poorly messaged to their base near the midterm elections. Former Republican Florida Representative Carlos Curbelo told host Chuck Todd that Republicans are currently leading the way surrounding the culture wars. And how long is this clip? This is too long of a clip. Well, it has too much of a commercial. I'll tell you that. Let's turn that commercial off. Hang on. And 3, 2, 1, and skip. Please let there not be a second one. There is a second one. You bastards. I hate the ads. Anyway, he said, right now Republicans are winning the culture wars in the country. That's just the way it is, he said. Well, maybe let's watch the clip. We'll watch it's only 4 minutes long. Let's see it. Let's get a feel for this. Because there's some, come on. Why isn't that doing that? Well, let's do it this way. All right, we'll put it up on the screen. There, let's just watch it this way. All right, here's the clip.
Are we at a tipping point here where the right's overreaching?
Well, Chuck,
overreaching.
Right now,
Whoa.
Republicans are winning
Let's
the
just
culture
stop
wars
right
in
here.
this country.
Let's just
That's
stop.
just the way it
Let's
is.
just stop.
You look at defund.
Let's just stop. Overreaching. That's Chuck Todd telling you that he thinks the issues that are happening right now, the ones that, like in Florida with the parents' rights bill, and that's starting to happen in other bills, they're very popular bills, even among Democrats. Because the overreaching, let's take that just one bill, for example. Overreaching would be if they had banned all this education that they're talking about. The education is, I would say, a generous term. If, let's say, they had banned the teaching of gender issues and whatever, sexual education stuff, sexuality issues, completely in schools. Now, that would be overreaching because sex education has been a pretty common addition to curriculum. Why? I'm not 100% sure, other than the biology aspects of it, but it has been pretty much a general consensus that that's somewhat necessary for kids at appropriate ages, right? But the backlash to this bill, when people find out that they're talking about ages preschool through third grade, 9 years old and under, and saying it should be appropriate beyond that, appropriate age education, most people think, a vast majority of people think, that's common sense. And in Florida, DeSantis is wildly popular, believe it or not. And what's interesting, sometimes I wonder, I don't necessarily count the money that they bring in. Usually I don't count it as being a measure of necessarily how popular someone is, except Ron DeSantis has raked in over $100 million for his campaign for re-election in Florida and whatever he uses it for, strictly on donations. It's the most anyone's brought in strictly on donations of any candidate for a governor ever. And it's not even, what year are we in? 2020? It's a long way away from the elections. And so Democrats are panicking a little bit. But let me finish this guy talk. I cut him off too soon. Let's go.
On the police, you look at defund ICE. Now in Florida, you have this parental empowerment bill. The opponents call it the Don't Say Gay bill. Republicans
Again, now look at this. Look at the graphic Meet the Press uses here. Again, they are trying, they have this this need to demonize it by saying more states introduced, quote, don't say gay, end quote, bills. Now, who are they quoting? They're not quoting the people who write the bills, because not a single one of these bills, and particularly the one in Florida, which got that moniker, had anything about that in the bill. They are framing it in the way that the opponents frame it, because of course these media types are on the opponent's side. Media just, oh my God, these people piss me off. Good morning, what's her name? Good morning, Moon. And good morning, Unacceptable Views. Another Canadian friend. All right, anyway.
Baited Democrats in Florida into taking the position that students in grades K through 3, students who are learning to color and read and write, should be taught about sexuality, about gender identity. So I think Democrats have consistently...
Oh, look at her. She's not happy. You see this woman right here in the blue jacket? She does not look happy. I don't know why. We're going to find out if she says anything. Well, I'm sure they'll ask her a question. She did not look at, she looking at him. She looking at that side eye. She not happy. He not happy either. They don't like to listen to this dude. He's probably, let me guess. I'm going to guess too that he's the only one on the panel who is even right-leaning. I'm going to guess. Maybe. Well, we'll see. They don't, because they never balance these battles. It's always 2, 3, 4 on one, plus the host who makes it the extra person. It's never balanced, but we'll see.
Been at least perceived to be on the wrong side of these issues, and Republicans...
And parents agree with the Florida bill overwhelmingly. Even Democrats, 55% to like 29% in favor of that bill.
Republicans are going to keep going to the well every time, and for Ron DeSantis, if he runs in 24, he's going to run on these issues.
Kimberly, Carlos makes a good point about how the right's so good at baiting the left to defend a specific...
Oh! Is that what Carlos said? Did he say the right is good at baiting people on these issues? Hey, how about you watch TikTok for an hour and see how well people are baiting on these issues? Yeah, in fact, leftists and TikTok's full of teachers right now. In fact, hang on a second. Let me check if I can find it. There is let me see if I can find it. I think it's called Teachers Exposed. Teachers Exposed. What the hell is this? Oh, I don't need that. It's called @Teachers Exposed. There it is. I should follow that account. It is just a radical teacher after radical teacher, mother banned from attending school board meetings. I'll leave this one up too. You can go through this. You can scroll through this and look at all the teachers they have people talking about this shit. Let's see. Attention parents, it isn't just the teachers you need to worry about. It's the counselors like Mr. Ronquillo here. Here's a counselor. Nope. Music. Here, we'll do it without the music. When a student has been telling me they feel like others won't accept them for who they are, then finally comes out to me. I don't want the music. I don't want that to, there, take the music off. Oh, no, he's talking to the guy. Hang on. He's singing along. I don't need this one. There's all kinds of examples in here. This guy. Oh, this guy's amazing. Talking about the goal of a transition class. Let me tell you, if the parents of the children want them to dress in a separate manner for what the child is, that's the parents' prerogative. I'm not saying you ban kids who do this, but for the teachers to hide shit from their parents, that's where I have a problem. Here it is.
The goal of the transition closet is for our students to be able to wear the clothes that their parents approve of, come to school, and then swap out into the clothes that fit who they truly are.
Oh, so they can change their clothes when they get to school, and then before they leave school, they go back to wearing the clothes, so the parents don't know that they were being addressed as a different person in different clothes at school. But this is so we can hide us. And also, listen to this.
Yeah, that this is like Superman changing in a phone booth.
And they equate it to being like Superman changing a phone booth. So now, how many kids want to be like Superman? It's encouraging it and getting approval points for doing this. The problem isn't that there are kids who feel like this. The problem is they're making it cool. They're making it, you're special and you get special attention and you can be like Superman if you're like this. So it's like, that's why they have so many kids now who say, oh, well, I'm part of the LGBTQ community, because these fuckers push this shit on them, and I don't give a crap about being LGBTQ and whatever other letters you want to add to that list, except for maps or whatever except for P. Fuck the P's. No, don't fuck. There's a wood chipper joke here, but I'm not going to go. Anyway, they make it kids who want to be special. Well, here's a way to be special. So they're pushing kids into this when they have no idea. Kids don't have brains that develop this way. Their brains aren't developed till they're 25 years old. So even kids, when you push this shit all the way through college, it's like, oh my God. It's like, they're so malleable. So now you're making this, you're making something exciting that's not normal. It's okay to be normal, but they make this special to be not normal. Basically, all the the punk rockers, the emos, the cutters. It's okay to be weird. This is pushing them into something else.
But that idea actually goes a lot further than that, because Superman isn't Clark Kent. Clark Kent is actually the disguise. And when Clark Kent goes into the phone booth, he transforms into Superman, who's really just who he truly is, Kal-El.
And I bet this is how he explains it to kids, too.
The opportunity to be the superheroes that we know they are.
So you turn them into the superheroes they know they are by having them go change clothes in the closet when they get to school and not wear what their parents sent them to school in, and make them something different and make them something extra, extra, extra special. God, I hate these people. I really do. Anyway, let's go back to Meet the Press, because these are the kind of issues they're talking about.
Yep. Right. And by the way, this bill, it has basically, it's about 50-50 support. It's not decisive.
No, it's not 50-50 support. There is, we've seen the polls. We looked at them on Friday. Overwhelming support for the bill, and 55-29 among Democrats in Florida when they know what the bill actually says. It's 50-50 when they talk about it being called Don't Say Gay. Oh, actually, no. When they say it's a Don't Say Gay bill, the way the opponents speak of it, it's about 60% against. When people who actually read the bill, 55% of Democrats support it. Only 29 oppose it. 70-some% of parents, or 80-90% of parents support it. And it's overwhelming on the Republican side, too.
In either direction.
But it's not, well, also the polling's all over the place because it's very difficult to poll in this,
How do you ask the question?
This kind of way. But it's
if you ask the question. How you ask the question. Yes, if you ask the question using the words of the bill, it's overwhelmingly popular.
The Republicans they see the win in the gubernatorial race in Virginia, and they say that this is how they can just take this playbook over and over and over again. And the Democrats.
How did that playbook come up, though? How did they figure out this playbook? Did they randomly came across it? Or during the pandemic, did parents start to see what's happening in their schools? And in the craziest school boards in the country, London County, did they start showing up and asking questions about what their kids were being taught? Which they probably should have done that a little earlier. I know I always knew what my kids were being taught, but that's beside the point. The school boards in London County thought, we know better for your kids than you do. We are the ones who decide what your children are taught. We tell you what our curriculum is, and you have no right to question it. And they got They got the fucking Attorney General of the United States of America to call them terrorists for coming to their school board meeting and asking questions. Poll, do you think schools should teach sexual matters to students in grades K through 12 that are not age appropriate? Perfect question. Q continuum. That's the way it's, ask the question that way and see how it polls. And by the way, even some of the LGBTQ community supports the way the Florida bill is done. Amazing.
Haven't found any way to message again. I mean, the first thing with DeSantis facing off with Disney, right, is if the Republicans are railing against cancel culture, if a government penalizes someone over what they say, that's anti-First Amendment. Like that.
Oh, contraire. He's not penalizing Disney. Hey, by the way, I just noticed, I don't know if this is just anecdotal or not, but there was apparently people going to Disney World is really down. Now, I don't know if it's because of, there's no COVID restrictions at Disney. But yeah, apparently the attendance at Disney World is down pretty significantly enough to notice over the last few weeks. I wonder what that's about. But the idea that it's cancel culture, Disney comes in and says, as a company, we're going to overturn this law. And what they did was they took away, they said we're not going to fund or don't give money to any political candidates, which is fine. Good. Don't give them. Why are you giving, you're basically paying them to get favors anyway, Disney. And the idea that Disney has some political arm that they should be able to come in and tell you how you're going to do your laws. All these people who are against Citizens United, remember those people? How much do they love the fact that Disney is trying to pressure Florida into their laws? Oh, corporations are people now? You fucking assholes. Anyway.
The Democrats actually legally are on the winning side of this, yet you haven't heard that message at all.
Legally on what side? What did she just say? What bullshit did she just say?
Anti-First Amendment. Like that, the Democrats actually legally are on the winning side of this, yet you haven't heard that message at all.
Because you're smoking crack.
It's been astonishing to me that the Democrats haven't grabbed onto a libertarian attack on this, because this is big government telling people what to do. This is.
Oh my God. Okay, Chuck, you moron. Does the government determine what school curriculums are? These are public schools does the government choose school curriculum in states? States run the school. Is there a state government that has nothing to do with what happens to curriculums in schools? Or is it just a free-for-all? Can the first grade teacher go in there and teach anything they decide? This is amazing. This is amazing. That's amazing. That's the dumbest thing I've fucking heard. Government is telling people.
Because this is big government telling people what to do.
What do you mean telling people what to do? Telling what you can teach in the schools? Oh my God, government's telling you what you can teach in the schools? I've never heard of that. Local government telling you what you can teach in your schools, having curriculum guidelines. The State Education Association, the states are the ones who run the schools in their states, and they're telling you what their curriculum guidelines are. Oh my God, I'm getting the vapors over this. I can't believe they did that. Holy shit. Thank you, Tyre Alexander, our first sponsor of the day. And Tyre Alexander, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Tyre says, Sun Shu said, never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. Democrats are double, tripling, and quadrupling down. And they are losing parents to the right. Oh, there's lots of, I've been seeing lots of anecdotal evidence of that. And actually some actual evidence. But anyway, combined with everything else, winning 2020 election may have been a massive error. Yeah. Well, and the COVID lockdowns where people had to do remote learning, forcing remote learning on people probably as probably, at least as far as schools go, open a lot of people's eyes. Anyway, thank you, Tyre Alexander. Appreciate it. All right, so Chuck, what other stupid things are going to come out of your mouth, Chuck? Hello, Zombie Teddy, by the way. Nice to see you. All right.
This is government saying they want to decide, they want to know what your kid's gender is. Like, no, that's not your.
What? Okay. Chuck, where in the bill is the government asking what your child's gender is? What the actual fuck are you talking about? What are you listen?
This is government saying they want to decide, they want to know what your kid's gender is. Like, no, that's not your. Get out.
Where is that?
Out of my kid's bedroom.
But that's time and again what
Get out of my kid's bedroom. This is painful. He is painfully stupid. I don't know why I do this to myself today.
we're seeing Republicans do right now, whether it looks at what's happening in abortion and all these other cases. And I think Democrats are on their heels, particularly when it came to schools and COVID and mask requirements.
Yeah,
because
they
have not
fucked
figured
up.
out how to message around this. It seems to me, yeah, there's easy slogans you could push back on, but they have not found an animating.
Are there? Well, why aren't they coming up with any? Oh, they came up with "Don't Say Gay." Great.
Slogan is to kind of push back and get the public sentiment behind them.
And time and again, we've seen Democrats allow their messaging to almost be defined by the other side in a way that is so hard for them to.
Really? Okay. I want you to listen to that sentence again. This is an important sentence that this guy says, because listen to what he says, and then I have a simple answer for his statement here.
Allow their messaging to almost be defined by the other side in a way that is so hard for them to then get out of. I mean,
Democrats are allowing their messaging to be defined by the other side. Don't say gay. Oops. Jackass. Heroic Nico. I just saw Heroic Nico. How you doing, Heroic Nico? How you doing? Nice to see you. Anyway, yeah. The Democrats allow... Listen
to kind of push back and get the public sentiment behind them.
And time and again, we've seen Democrats allow their messaging to almost be defined by the other side.
Allow their messaging to be defined by the other side. If someone says the parental rights and education bill, how many people have heard of that? However, how many people have heard of Don't Say Gay? Look at this. Democrats are allowing look at this. More states introduce Don't Say Gay bills. Wow. Who's defining what's happening here? Holy shit. Unbelievable.
Democrats allow their messaging to almost be defined by the other side in a way that is so hard for them to then get out of. I mean, the problems with the polling on this mirror the problems that Democrats have in
Morning Data Wasteland
messaging on it. If you were to ask the average parent of a first grader, do you want your kid to be taught about sex in first grade? Most parents would probably say, probably not. But if you ask, is it okay for your kid to be read a book about, Peter the penguin who has 2 penguin dads, you're not going to have the same kind of response. But Democrats have sort of ceded the argument on this on so many of these.
Really? And why would you be reading them a book about Polly Penguin having 2 penguin dads? What would be your purpose of reading that book? Interesting. Hello, Lesser Logic.
Cultural issues.
And this is why Democrats are losing working class voters, Latino voters, because they seem so disconnected. A lot of the messaging comes from the progressive base of the Democratic Party, and that messaging does not connect with working class voters, with Latino voters. So those numbers are going to continue to erode.
And guess what? They want to fuck up their whole deal with the Latino voters, the heavily Catholic Latino communities. Not that. Start pushing, please push this more. Push it more. Push the, teach children about gay. Teach them what gay means in first grade. Teach them what, just keep pushing it.
As long as Democrats are perceived to be on this side of those issues.
Kimberly, it's a
perceived to be. Yeah, that's generous of him to even give him that much. Asian Research Director, how you doing?
It's interesting to see that Times deep dive into the immigration debate inside the White House, and you can see the disagreement inside the White House between those who want to be politically pragmatic and those who say, but this policy is wrong, and you're like, yeah, it's going to get weaponized against you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Democrats focus on the policy and the solutions, and Republicans are way out ahead of them focusing on the politics and how to use.
Really? Okay, so she's saying that they focus on the policy and the solutions. Well, aren't the Republicans focusing on a policy of what's taught in schools? You think that's a pocketbook in the living room talking to your family issue? What your kids are learning at school, and what should they be learning at school, and whose decision is it to what they're learning at school? And the idea that you would have no rights if a third grade teacher, told your kid that, told your daughter that, you might be a boy. And we should have some special clothes in the Superman closet for you to wear just at school, and don't tell your parents we're going to call you Billy. And then when you go home, you can change back into your clothes that they sent you to school and call you Molly again. But at school, we're going to call you Billy. And we're going to have a counselor talk to you about why you're Billy and why you could not possibly be Molly because you picked a football to play with at recess. And you wanted to play with the boys at recess because that would make you a boy because you want to play with boys at recess. Right, Molly? I mean, Billy. But Billy, before you go home, make sure you go in the Superman closet where Superman changes back into his costume of being Clark Kent. Clark Kent is Molly, but Superman is the real you, Billy. And, don't tell your parents. Speaking of which, good morning, Legit Low Talker. Thank you, Maddie, for sponsoring the show. Maddie, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you for sponsoring the show. says, "Oh, we have a commercial. I have a commercial, and I'm not even ready with music. Hang on, let me pull up some commercial music here. Hang on, got you in just a second. You know, what's the is it rumba that's or samba? Is it samba that's kind of Cuban-ish? Because I know you got some Cuban roots in you. Let me go with samba today. I don't know if that's racist or not, but I'm using it. Here we go. This is we have a commercial. Here we go. This show is brought to you by Latinx Window Cleaner. Latinx Window Cleaner is streak-free and leaves you with a clean finish. Free Latino with every purchase. Latinx, for when you want to mock the left, because it's not a fucking word. There we go. Thank you, Maddie, for sponsoring the show. It was salsa. I'm sorry, I used samba, not salsa. But anyway, it's Latinx. It's all the same, isn't it? Just kidding, of course. Anyway, all right. Anyway, let's finish up this nonsense and move on. Oh, well, I have some follow-up stuff to this. But anyway, here we go.
To win elections. Democrats could have solved on the politics and how to use it.
Oh, wait, let's go back to all the way here.
Pragmatic. And those who say
this
policy is wrong, and you're like, yeah, it's going to get weaponized against you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Democrats focus on the.
Isn't it funny though? Like I said, remember I said it's like they have 4 panelists, right? And one of them believes one thing, but all the other 3 panelists clearly are on the other side, including the host. It's kind of funny how that works out. Hello, Chicago Mike. I'm Latino, not Latinx. Right, because Latina, like the commercial said, for when you want to mock the left, because it's not a word. Word! Anyway, oh shoot, I messed this up. I cut her off there, didn't I? Here we go.
Yeah, it's going to get weaponized against you.
That's exactly what I said. Democrats focus on the policy and the solutions, and Republicans are way out ahead of them.
So you don't think this bill's a policy or a solution to a problem that parents care about?
To win elections. Democrats could have solved this problem a while ago, or at the very least been out in front of what the problem it is. I mean, we were just talking about the need for immigration to get more workers to help boost the economy. There's so many ways to do it, and you just can't seem to figure it out.
Does a Roe v. Wade decision flip the script on this at all, Anna?
I don't know. I mean, we haven't been able to see Democrats kind of mobilizing this. I do think if it totally goes away, you're going to see
how do we help Democrats
find a way to get their base.
How do we help Democrats?
Not done anything on voter rights, immigration.
Notice the whole focus is how do we help Democrats, because Republicans might win in the midterms. Oh no! I meant, let me try that again. Republicans might win in the midterms. Oh no! Notice how that's Chuck's focus this whole session of Meet the Press. How do we save Democrats from this? Because we need Democrats. We want to make sure, because the Democrats might lose, and we don't want the Democrats to lose. Oh no.
All these other things. You know, there's a real issue here for Democrats in the midterms.
You know, it's interesting. Normally, when there's an economic story that's dominating, the culture wars fade. This is one of those rare occasions where both.
We get both.
We're going to get.
Yeah, because the Democrats are fucking up both. Yeah. We got President Pudding Brain in office.
Both in this midterm.
Okay, so that's the end of that.
Who gets popped.
There we go. All right. So enough of that. That's the whole thing. But yeah, it's so funny how they just
it was a
so
typical
focused.
Monday morning.
Stop. I don't want this to go. There we go. All right. So now let's we need the need for immigration to get more workers to help the economy. Right. Well, because they say it's the booming economy. That's what's causing inflation, according to MSNBC. And it's because we have so many people working and such a low unemployment. That's the reason the prices are rising. Not because we're printing money like it's, we're dumping water into the whatever Niagara Falls dumps into. So now this is kind of the problem for the Democrats, and this is can explain it a little bit, because new polls signal major problems for Democrats ahead of the 2022 midterms. New polling released over the last few days showed that Democratic President Joe Biden and his party are in serious trouble as of this November's 2022 midterms elections near. A CBS News poll found that nearly 2/3 of Americans said that the national economy was bad because holy shit, I just went to the store yesterday. Oh my God, I can't believe anyway, this anecdote, which they blame on skyrocketing inflation and gas prices. Now, did y'all notice prices went down a little bit this week? I noticed because I get gas at least once every 4 to 5 days because I drive a lot. They went down about between 10 and 20 cents depending where you get gas. I don't know. That's probably because of speculation that they're going to pull oil out of the strategic oil reserve, whatever. Gas prices are always kind of somewhat speculative, but anyway. Quote, higher prices are leading people to say, here, let's read it. Higher prices leading people to say they're making cutbacks, especially on more discretionary items like entertainment and travel. That may, of course, have a wider impact on the economy later. About half are cutting back on food and groceries, and this is especially the case among those with lower incomes. Biden gets his lowest approval ratings on the economy and inflation. And on gas prices specifically, most think he could be doing more to lower them. Nearly all Republicans share this view. They believe his policies are doing a lot to contribute to higher gas prices. Yep. Wait, that's bullshit. Inflation's been going up steadily since Brandon got in. Yep, I have been paying attention since I'm fixed disability income and have been losing buying power over a year. Damn liars. Yeah. The poll found that top issues for voters were the economy, inflation, and crime, which Democrats get low marks on all of those because crime's kind of out of hand too. Anyway, and Biden gets low marks on handling them, with more than 60% of Americans disapproving of the way Biden has handled the three issues. On the economy, issues that should be a high priority. Okay, this is their top issues: economy, inflation, crime, Russia, Ukraine, and immigration. As far as Biden's handling of crime, approved 39 to 61. Immigration, 38 to 62. Economy, 37 to 63. Goodness gracious. This is whew. Again, top priorities: economy, inflation, crime, and then immigration. Russia's right here. Here's on all of these things, he is underwater. NBC polling analyst Steve Kornacki went over polling on Sunday that the network previously conducted, showing that college-educated men went from plus 16 for Democrats in the last midterm elections. Again, I'm telling you right now, Biden won the election because of white men and nobody else. I was going to make a video about that right after the election because I saw the numbers, and it wasn't black people, it wasn't Hispanics, it wasn't Asians, because they say, black women, put them over the top. No. 6% of the population did not put Biden over the top with 80 million votes. White men are what put Biden over the top. Anyway, showing that college-educated men went from being plus 16 for the Democrats in the last midterm elections to being now plus 10 for Republicans, a 26-point shift. Politico reported over the weekend that leading experts have indicated that angry voters slammed by higher prices and scarred by 2 years of fighting the pandemic are poised to punish Democrats in the midterm elections, and that with inflation persisting and Russia's war on Ukraine stoking uncertainty, there are indications that public sentiment is getting worse, not better. Now that's interesting the way Politico put that. Listen to that sentence again. Listen to that sentence again. Again, they're poised to punish Democrats in the midterm elections, and that with inflation persisting and Russian war on Ukraine stoking uncertainty, there are indications that public sentiment is getting worse, not better. Now, when Politico says that, are they meaning because it's worse because they're getting worse for Democrats? Because that's an interesting way to put it. Anyway, the report added, the widely watched Michigan Consumer Confidence Survey recently touched its lowest level since in almost 11 years. An Associated Press NORC survey showed that almost 70% of Americans think the economy is in poor shape, and 81% of those in a poll released by CNBC see a recession coming this year. Well, that's almost a given. And Gallup found the share of Americans citing inflation as a top issue is now at its highest level since the 1980s. Well, more like 1980 and 1981 because we were getting over the Carter years. The big run-up in gas and food and home prices has really caused great hardship for many households, said Richard Curtin, a veteran economist who has run the University of Michigan Consumer Survey since 1976. And Biden administration made critical error in saying that it would be transient and people should just tough it out. It wasn't transient. A lot of people couldn't just tough it out, and it's caused a big loss of confidence in Joseph Rahim Biden's policies. No, Dog, the dead put Putin over the top. White men was a close second after the soy field crowd. Okay, Tyre, I got you. The food civil war begins when Popeyes runs out of chicken. Motherfucker, they better not run out of no chicken. I just cooked a bunch of chicken, by the way, because, brothers and shit. But actually, I cooked a bunch of food for my daughter again, and then we saved some we kept some of the extras. Anyway, Mark Zandi, chief economist for Moody's. Hey, you get the point. This ain't looking good. The polls are not looking good for Joseph Rahim Biden or Democrats whatsoever. So what are Democrats doing? Well, and here's another one. Another one. Democrats in danger of losing a key Senate seat. Remember, the Senate is 50-50 right now. And it may no longer be 50-50 after these midterms. There's several Democrats. What the hell is that over there? You can't see it on your screen, but damn. Damn, girl. Anyway, all right. Apparently, Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada is in danger of losing re-election and handing control of the Senate over to Republicans in November. Is she the only one that's in danger? I beg to differ. I wouldn't be shocked if they picked up a couple, 2 or 3 Senate seats. But anyway, Cortez Masto trailed former Republican Attorney General Adam Laxalt by 7 points in a March poll by Democratic Blueprint polling, which showed Hispanic voters evenly split amongst the two. This is in Nevada. I'm telling you, some of this culture shit, my Hispanic brothers and sisters don't play with some of this nonsense. I'm just saying, our Hispanic community believes in the American dream. They came here for the American dream. Laxalt told the Daily Caller News Foundation they're not signing up for a lot of this radical leftism that's being pushed on by the Democratic Party. So the Republican goal of taking back the Senate in November could hinge on the ousting of vulnerable incumbent Democrat, that particular incumbent Democrat in the battleground state of Nevada. The state, which President Joe Biden won by a little over 2 points, is represented by Cortez Masto and is rated by Cook Political Report as a toss-up. If it's a toss-up, then Republicans are leading, because that's just how it goes. Laxalt previously ran for governor in 2018 and lost to current Democratic Governor Steve Sisolak. Emphasized how COVID-19 restrictions disproportionately affected the working class in the state, particularly when it came to minority-owned businesses. And so he's got a surge. So there's a chance. You can read the rest of that about him later. It'll be in the link. By the way, every day, if you're not haven't been a regular here very long, every day, every article, every tab, every link, every video, everything I do, I will put in a single link in the description down below, which will have, if you click that link, all the links will be on one page. You can find everything we talked about. If you want something for your own story, your own blog, your own video, your own talk with mom and dad, when you talk politics with mom and dad, or your cousin or your neighbor or the idiot on Twitter who's trying to say this and that, and I can go, well, here's an article that tells you that. You can find it in the description down below. At the end of the show, during the outro, I update that link, and it will be ready for your consumption. All right. Moving on. Now, let me do that one first or this one first. Well, so this brings me to Ron DeSantis, because we kind of talking about this bill, and this is an interesting article by Michael Walsh that I found. counts down, you may or may not have money to go on holiday or buy enough food, but those are small sacrifices because now we don't have the mean tweets. Yes! Mean tweets are no longer. Anyway, now under a British parliamentary system, there is something known as a shadow cabinet, which consists of the leadership of the out party, whichever it may be. Right now, with Boris Johnson having hung on his prime ministership despite ample reason for the Tories to have dumped him when they had the chance and should have, the shadow prime minister is Keir Starmer, the former editor of radical Trotskyite magazine Socialist Alternatives, although he seems to have modified his fire-breathing leftism since his college days and is now considered a soft left. As such, Starmer is leader of the opposition. I know this is... Anyway, there's a point to this point of the story. And it stands at the head of the entire replacement cabinet. Should the current government fall or be voted out of the next scheduled election of May 2024, the British public already knows who's going to be in charge and what they're going to get. Now, here in the United States, the picture is far less clear. Our cumbersome presidential election system, which now begins the day after the midterms and drags on for nearly 2 years of jockeying and primaries and media flaps and get out the vote shenanigans, and even then doesn't end on election day, produces nothing but a single candidate by the spring of the election year. Then more mystery. Who will be the running mate? Which rivals or friends or party hacks might wind up in the prospective cabinet? Nobody knows for sure until the announcements are made. The Veep before the boat, and others afterward if the ticket is successful. Even then, there's still nearly 3-month transition phase before any of this can legally take effect. By the time Inauguration Day rolls around, half the country is already heartily sick of the new guys and the media and is openly wondering who will be running 4 years later. This cycle, things are a bit different. With the Biden administration visibly failing, the hero's welcome given to former President Barack Obama recently speaks volumes about where the real power in Washington lies these days, and speculation rife about whether or even how quickly feeble president can be replaced and by whom. The time has never been riper for the Republicans to have a shadow president of their own. As it happens, they have two. First, of course, is Donald Trump, the recent president who appears to be determined to get his old Oval Office back, running on a campaign of "I was robbed" grievance. The final 3 months of the Trump administration were an epic mess, beginning on election night when the nation went to bed with Trump comfortably ahead in all swing states he needed to win and put him over the top, and waking up to one of the most extraordinary reversals of fortune in our history. The mishegoss continued with a flurry of lawsuits seeking, in effect, to overturn the post results, including the Supreme Court's disgraceful refusal to hear one constitutionally based suit brought by the state of Texas contesting the results in 4 battleground states. I'm going to skip some of this because it could get me in trouble. So anyway, but the icing on the cake was the January 6th demonstrations, during which Trump said, "We've come to demand that Congress do the right thing," blah, 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 blah. So he's one of the so-called shadow presidents. The other is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a former congressman who won a squeaker election against, in retrospect, a manifestly unsuitable Democrat candidate, Andrew Gillum, whom DeSantis beat by 0.5 percentage point. Following the election, Gillum was found inebriated with a man who had identified himself on websites as an escort who was treated on the scene for possible overdose. Crystal meth was also reportedly found at the scene. Florida dodged a bullet. DeSantis got a leg up on the other politicians of his generation. He's 43, Trump is 75, and in just a couple of years has transformed himself into a national figure. How did he do it? Well, as the old saying goes, it's better to be lucky than good, but DeSantis has been both. Practically since he took office, events have broken his way, starting with the unnecessary hysteria over stupid 19 that, in the final analysis, was the thing that destroyed the Trump administration. After briefly flirting with lockdowns, DeSantis reversed course, bit the bullet, ignored media flappadoodle over cases, and made Florida a free state alternative to such draconian fascist entities as New York and California and Michigan, where the governor almost got kidnapped. Oh no. I'll just give you one of these. Florida boomed as its rivals faded, hemorrhaging population and losing economic and political clout, while the Sunshine State and also Texas happily welcomed the refugees. DeSantis has been lucky in his enemies as well. Incredibly, the new woke Walt Disney Company, the embodiment of family-friendly entertainment since its founding in 1923, through its founder's death in 1966 and up until recently, has decided that the Florida Parental Rights and Education Bill, which DeSantis enthusiastically signed, prevented state teachers from discussing human sexuality and sexual orientation and gender identity with children in kindergarten through third grade. And that's the hill the company wants to die on. Quote, Florida's HB 1557, also known as the Don't Say Gay Bill, by who? Ha! Again. Anyway, should have never passed and should have never been signed into law, the statement reads. Our goal as a company is for this law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in the courts, and we remain committed to supporting the national and state organizations working to achieve that. We are dedicated to standing up for the rights and the safety. They always throw out safety, like you're going to go smack some LGBT guy in the head. And the safety of LGBTQ plus members of the Disney family, as well as the LGBTQ plus community in Florida and across the country. Disney's public opposition to the law follows an employee walkout in protest of CEO Bob Chapek's mishandling of the Don't Say Gay bill. So what's funny about that, though, is Disney employees also, who have read the bill, also are in favor of the bill. It's crazy, isn't it? Disney, however, is a private company operating under an extremely generous sweetheart deal with the state of Florida regarding its theme park and environs in Orlando. So you'd think its corporate executives like Chapek wouldn't want to poke the alligator that protects them, but woke is just another name for stupid, and naturally Disney blundered right into the governor's wheelhouse. An escalating fight between Disney. This is from, what's this from? This is from The Hollywood Reporter. An escalating fight between Disney and Florida over the so-called, again, everyone calls it the Don't Say Gay bill, has pushed state lawmakers to threaten to strip the company of special privileges that essentially give it the sovereignty to act as its own government. Backed by Governor Ron DeSantis, some Republican lawmakers have called for the repeal of a 1967 law permitting the creation of the Reedy Creek Improvement District. The legislation affords Disney the authority to act as its own county with the ability to impose taxes, adopt ordinances, and provide emergency services on land that's home to its sprawling theme park resort, among other powers of self-government. Are you kidding me? Why aren't the Democrats against corporations just bitching about how they have this tax breaks for Disney? It's a big billionaire company. They probably pay no income tax. They probably don't pay taxes in Florida. I bet Disney pays very little taxes in Florida. Anyway, hi Gen T. Yeah, because it's an anti-groomer bill. Disney is now looking on a worldwide scale like they're pro-groomer. Yeah, that's the thing. And they're losing customers for it too. Although they'll probably get, it'll be more it's what is it? The happiest place on earth? Well, they can be the gayest place on earth, which is fine. But I don't think there's as many gay customers as their parent customers. I'm just saying. Anyway, as a matter of first principle, I don't support special privileges in law just because a company is powerful, DeSantis said at a March 31st news conference. They've lost a lot of the pull they used to have, and honestly, I think it's a good thing for our state. You should not have one organization that is able to dictate policy in all these different realms, and they have done that for many, many years. If that stops now, which it should, that would be a good thing for Florida. Ouch, babe. That's not good. Anyway, that's not all. For years, Disney has been given super duper special treatment in Congress over its copyrighted characters like Mickey Mouse. I'm not, holding the copyright thing on them is kind of BS, but the tax laws for sure. Come on, man. What the fuck?
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, there we go. Anyway. No matter how agitated Disney's woke workforce is, this is a fight Disney can only lose and DeSantis can only win. Disney and other woke corporations exist in a fantasy-fueled Twitterverse in which nothing is more important than extending the left's fetish about sexual license unto the generations. That's Disney's core audience, the suckers who shell out a fortune to partake of the dubious joy of Disneyland in California and Disney World in Florida, is dead set against the sexualization of children. Is just another reason to do it. By the way, remember that? Did y'all see you probably saw it, but the leaked Disney studio meeting stuff that they were where they're talking about how they want to make more of their characters gay and bi and non-binary and blah 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 blah. They want to make 50% of them that, and they wanted to make sure that they're promoting certain whatever themes in there. Do you think parents are excited about that? Do you think that's what parents want? How about just telling some stories, not giving a crap about the sexuality of your characters? Although I know they're saying, well, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and blah, 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 and Sleeping Beauty and blah, 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 and all these Disney princesses, blah, 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 blah. Think about who your audience is, Disney. Anyway. So let's see, dead set against the sexualization of children is just another reason. The usual suspects in the media naturally are overwhelmingly in favor of the law's repeal, as a glance at Google will readily confirm, and as can be seen by their insistence on siding with the Democrats and calling it the Don't Say Gay bill. 3 words that are not in the fucking bill. I'm sorry, I embellished a little bit on that sentence. With enemies like the company that brought Harvey Weinstein and the mainstream media, with enemies like the company that brought you Harvey Weinstein and the mainstream media, DeSantis doesn't need friends. Meanwhile, the governor has the wind at his back. More than a dozen states that are considering similar bills, putting Florida's governor the de facto driver's seat on the issue. From COVID to the Chinese suborning of American institutions to the sitting Daffy Duck called Disney, DeSantis has staked out positions in direct opposition to the Biden Democrats. Exactly what you'd expect from a shadow president who's looking forward, not backward. Obama was 47 years when he became president. DeSantis, should he run and win, would be 46. Trump will be 78. Do the math. That was the end of the article. See, right here. Do the math right there. Anyway, so, I'm just saying, I kind of like DeSantis. Anyway, we've got, what time is it? Oh my God, I'm almost out of time. Well, I'll finish this up. But anyway, 33 people in the room, 25 likes. Hit the like button before you do anything else. And I'll stick with this theme since we're almost done. Other signs that perhaps Ron DeSantis his name is becoming very popular. He got a rock star welcome at UFC 23. He showed up at UFC 23, and the crowd went crazy. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis set the UFC 273 crowd on fire. So just this, I don't even need to run the article. Let's just look at this. Look at this. Okay, that's not a very good picture of it. But anyway, they say he got a rock star treatment at UFC 23. Let's see. Here it is. Here's what he's saying.
As is my governor, the 46th.
Oh, there it is.
State of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
Listen to him cheer.
Getting a nice pop from the local crowd here.
We'll play that again because this is where he gets the rock star welcome. These people watching the screen.
As is my governor, the 46th governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Getting a nice pop from the local crowd here.
Yeah, you can't, that's hard to deny. I'm just saying. he puts them on the screen and the crowd goes crazy. All right, so there you go. I'm going to finish up with this. Let's see. Wait, let me see here. I got a couple. Anyway, well, since we're on this theme, let's stick to this theme, and I'll just leave the other articles for you to read later. Let me close a couple of these windows, though, real quick, because I don't want those in the tab. Just a reminder, all these articles and even more will be in the tab in the description down below. During the outro, I will update that and let you know when I'm done with that. Otherwise, you can come back and check it out later, but we'll finish up with this one because since we're on theme. Democrats plan to close the enthusiasm gap. Here's one of their strategies, and I think this is kind of the Stacey Abrams strategy. Democrats plan to close the enthusiasm gap by paying people to nag their friends about politics. What could go wrong? While it's not best to get cocky, Democrats do seem to be heading for a disappointing midterm election in November. Not only are they facing the usual swing that Americans historically prefer in keeping the legislative and executive branches in different parties, but Joe, I'm the Democratic Party, Biden is still sinking in poll after poll, and who knows how low he can go. Unlike his two predecessors in the White House, he doesn't have a base, so there's really no floor for him. He really doesn't have a base. He was kind of just that guy that nobody really wanted, but they put him up there so that he could win, and he got 81 million votes. So there you go. Anyway, on top, and plus you don't know what his policies really are. On top of a historically unpopular president, there's rampant inflation that doesn't seem likely to abate in the foreseeable future, chaos at our border, Biden open border, and the world on the brink of another world war, and the long list of culture war crazy that the radical left is pushing in government, schools, and corporations. From attempting to nationalize our elections, to defunding the police, to pushing racist anti-racism training, trying to legalize abortion until the moment of delivery, to teaching sex and sexuality to kindergarten through third graders, the Democrats have completely lost the plot and the support among the vast majority of American voters, including those they send taxpayer money to. But fear not! They have plans to address the real problem as they see it. The real problem is messaging and getting out the vote. Oh, never mind all that stuff about how they're losing support across all races, genders, and age groups, and whatever other bazillion identity boxes into which they try to define and confine us. That's only happening because the term progressive is the problem, not the policing, our policies themselves. Those are just fabulous. Another area Democrats are concerned about is that not enough people love Democrats and want to champion their fabulous but not progressive policies to their friends and neighbors. Well, Democrats have a solution for that problem, and it's the same solution they have for all problems. Throw money at it. That's right. They're going to pay people to talk to their friends, family, and neighbors about how great Biden is and how great Democrats are. No, this is not the Babylon Bee. This is from Politico. A group of Democratic strategists is trying to spread a novel organizing tactic in this year's election. Technically, it's called paid relational organizing, but it boils down to this: paying people to talk to their friends about politics. Hey, why don't you do it at Easter dinner this year? Let's see how that goes. Democrats think it helped. Oh, I'm sorry, not everyone celebrates Easter. For those of you who celebrate Easter, Democrats think it helped them to win the Senate in 2020 and are hoping the get out the vote strategy will help them limit the pain of a brutal 2020 election environment. In particular, the Ossoff team hired 2,800 Georgians, specifically targeting those with little or no voting history themselves, to do this outreach to their networks. The campaign was making a bet that many of the friends and family of their highly political volunteers were already engaged in the runoff election, but that this group could expand the electorate with relational outreach to their networks, which were likely to include more irregular voters and non-voters like them. The campaign folded this data into their vast field program, tracking conversations about and whether those contacted had voted. They could even notify organizers based on their own network which voters were tagged as only reachable by you. The post-election analysis found their efforts boosted turnout by an estimated 3.8% among the 160,000 registered voters targeted through their relational program. Ossoff and now Senator Ralph Warnock won by 1.2 points and 2.1 points respectively, flipping the state and Senate to the Democrats. So, paying people to talk about Democrats is apparently all the rage on the left, and there are groups of them organizing this desperation campaign all across the nation. The Progressive Turnout Project, another canvassing group, is putting $1 million behind a paid relational program in Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, top battleground states this fall. Red, Wine, and Blue, a group focused on organizing suburban moms. Oh, isn't that cute? Red, Wine, and Blue, like wine moms. I get it. Is also working with them on a volunteer relational program. The Texas Democratic Party is rolling out a statewide volunteer relational program called Connect Texas. Now, wait a minute. Because they're going to try to get Beto elected. Oh my God. Anyway, the whole thing is sad. This relational organizing is just AstroTurf, of course, but on a whole new level that involves political campaigns. Yeah, it's a big, giant AstroTurf campaign. Anyway, all right, so I didn't get to anything else I wanted to talk to you about today. I can give you an idea of what's going to be in the tabs. We'll just run through that real quick, and then I'm out of here. Pelosi says that AOC wanted to be the queen bee of the left, and she's already blaming AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, for Democrats' loss in the midterms. Oh my gosh, this is going to be great. This is going to be great, the finger pointing. And let's see, also, Dick Durbin lists notable moments in American history prior to Ketanji Brown Jackson confirmation. She mentioned Thurgood Marshall, or he mentions Thurgood Marshall, but skips Clarence Thomas. Well, no shocker, because Durbin's a douchebag. Anyway, you can see that clip. Also, Eric Adams ran on solving New York City's crime problems, but crime in the city is skyrocketing. Now, I don't know if that's fair, because he just got into office, and so the crime was already skyrocketing, but there's some evidence that it's even getting worse since he's been in office. So you can read on that. Also, Musk's decision Elon Musk decided not to join the Twitter board, which means he can buy more share in the company that they were going to allow him. Remember that little clause? Because he's supposed to join on the 9th of April, apparently, or I guess this week. And but he decided to decline. And I think part of it is because that 14.9% clause that he can only own a maximum of, if he's on the board, that they were going to make him hold himself to 14.9% of the company. But him not being on the board, he could make a complete move on it. So anyway, there's a good article on that in the Daily Wire. Let's see. Barack Obama comes out against the First Amendment. He's kind of an authoritarian. Interesting article in the front page. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not going to go over all the titles. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I got to call it today because otherwise I will be late to my other gig. So please, before you do anything, hit the like button. Can we get a live stream of the finger pointing? I will pay the popcorn. I want to see that. I want to see that because Nancy Pelosi, as much as I can't stand the woman, she's pretty good at this politics thing. And so she's already planting the seeds that the reason the Democrats are going to lose in the midterms is because of the AOC wing of the party, because they are just there. Can I get paid for spewing bullshit? Yeah, oh my gosh. I wonder if they would do something like that in Minnesota. I would do it. I would do it just to get paid, and then they'd probably catch me though. Anyway, what? Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for being here today. Why is my phone ringing? I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern. Please hit the like button, share the stream before, during, and after the stream. If you're watching a replay, put a comment in the comment section. Or if you come back, put a comment in the comment section. You don't have to just watch the replay like as solely. If you come back to this channel and you happen to click on this again, because say you're coming to get the links, because all the links are going to be in the description, right? One link, all the stories in one page, right? You can put a comment in the comment section then too. Also, thanks for the sponsors today, Tyler Alexander and Maddie. Thank you so much. Maddie, you are the superstar donor of the day. And, and wait, is that today? No, that's from before. Okay. Thank you, sponsors who are able to do it. I appreciate you when you can, and everyone who participates in the chat. If you were lurking, hey, I love you too. So I got to go. Thanks, everybody. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.